Jin stood at the large window looking at Earth below. The blue planet seemed small from the alien ship. He smoothed down his dark suit and took a deep breath. Today was important. Today humans would meet the coalition of advanced species for the first time. "Are you ready, sir?" asked Giho, standing by the door. Giho was Jin's security officer. He was tall and strong with short black hair. Before this job, he had been a soldier for 15 years. He did not talk much, but he saw everything. "As ready as I can be," Jin said with a small smile. "Hard to prepare when meeting aliens for the first time." Giho nodded once. "The translator devices work well. I tested mine earlier." Jin touched the small silver disc on his collar. The Coalition had given these devices to the Earth team when they arrived on the ship named Harmonious Exchange. The technology changed alien words into human languages instantly. It felt like magic. "Time to go," Jin said. "Earth is counting on us." They walked through the wide, bright hallways of the alien ship. The walls glowed with soft blue light. The air smelled clean but strange. Jin noticed that the temperature was cooler than humans liked. Coalition guards led them to a large round room. A table shaped like a half circle filled the center. On the far side sat 5 different alien species. Some had scales, some had fur, and one seemed to be made of crystals. Jin and Giho took their seats on the human side of the table. A tall green alien with 4 arms stood up. "Welcome, humans. I am Tay, your translator and guide for these talks. The Coalition has watched Earth for many years. We are happy to finally meet you." Jin stood and bowed slightly. "Thank you for inviting us. Earth is honored to join these talks." Another alien stood up. This one was over 7 feet tall with dark red skin that looked hard like armor. Sharp ridges ran down his head, and his eyes were yellow with black slits. 4 sharp teeth showed when he spoke. "I am General Vok of the Zaloth Empire, military commander of the Coalition forces in this sector," he said in a deep, rough voice. "Let us not waste time. Earth has resources. We offer protection in return." Jin blinked, surprised by the direct approach. "Thank you, General Vok. However, Earth would like to discuss all aspects of joining the Coalition, not just resource sharing." General Vok made a sound like rocks grinding together. Jin realized it was a laugh. "Humans do not understand their position," Vok said to the other aliens. "They are primitive. Their ships barely reach their own moon. Their weapons would not scratch Coalition vessels." Jin kept his face calm, but he felt his heart beating faster. Beside him, Giho sat perfectly still, his eyes fixed on Vok. "With respect, General," Jin said, "Earth wishes to join as an equal partner, not as a resource farm." Tay, the translator, looked nervous. "Perhaps we should discuss technology sharing. First, the Coalition has medical advances that could help humans." For the next 2 hours, they talked about many things. Jin asked questions about Coalition laws and rights for new members. General Vok grew more and more angry. He kept pushing for Earth to give up mining rights to the moon and parts of the ocean floor. "The Coalition protected 15 developing worlds from the swarm last cycle," Vok finally said, hitting the table with one large fist. "Your world would be food for them without us. You will show proper respect and gratitude." Jin took a sip of water. "Earth appreciates the Coalition's protection, but we cannot give up our resources without fair trade. Our people would suffer." General Vok stood up, his chair falling backward. The other aliens looked worried. "You will bow to Coalition authority," Vok shouted. Jin stood too, staying calm. "Earth does not bow. We offer friendship and cooperation as equals." The room grew very quiet. Everyone was watching. Vok walked around the table toward Jin. Giho tensed, ready to move. "In my culture," Vok said, looking down at Jin, "leaders prove their strength. You are weak. Your species is weak. You will learn your place." Before anyone could react, Vok swung one massive hand and slapped Jin across the face. The sound was like a gunshot in the quiet room. Jin's head snapped to the side. The force nearly knocked him down, but he caught himself on the table. Slowly, he straightened up. A small trickle of blood ran from the corner of his mouth. He wiped it away with his thumb and looked up at Vok. He did not fall. He did not cry out. He did not look away. Jiho was on his feet now, his hand moving under his jacket where Jin knew he carried a gun. Jin gave him a small shake of the head. Not now. The aliens were all standing, making worried sounds. Tay rushed forward. General, Vok, this is against all diplomatic rules, Tay said. But Vok was not listening to Tay. He was staring at Jin with surprise in his yellow eyes. In Zaloth culture, the slap would force weaker beings to kneel and submit. But the human was still, standing looking back at him without fear. You struck a diplomat during peace talks, Jin said quietly. On Earth, that is an act of war. The room erupted in voices. The crystal alien was making high whistling sounds. The furry one was growling. Tay was trying to calm everyone. The human should be unconscious, one alien whispered loudly. Zaloth strikes can break bones of most species. Vok took a step back, confusion crossing his face. You are still standing. Humans stand their ground, Jin said. Always. An older Zaloth rushed into the room wearing ornate armor with many symbols. General Vok, you have violated coalition law. Return to your quarters immediately. Vok looked at Jin once more, then turned and left the room. The older Zaloth bowed deeply to Jin. I am Admiral Tech. I apologize for this disgrace. General Vok will be punished. Jin touched his swollen cheek. What happens now? Tay stepped forward. This is serious. In coalition history, only 3 diplomatic meetings have had physical conflict. All ended with broken relations. Take me to our medical officer, Jin said. To Giho. Then to the aliens. Earth's delegation will return to our ship. We will contact you in 6 hours with our response. As they walked back through the hallways, Giho finally spoke. I should have protected you better. Jin shook his head. No one expected an alien general to slap a human. He touched his bruised face again, but I don't think he expected a human to stay standing either. What will you tell Earth? Giho asked. Jin thought for a moment. The truth, that we learned something important today. He looked at Giho. They think we're weak. I saw it in all their eyes. They didn't expect me to take that hit. So what do? Jin smiled despite his pain. We show them how strong humans really are. The Earthship opportunity was small compared to the massive coalition vessel. Inside the medical bay, Jin sat on an examination table while Rai, the medical officer, checked his swollen face. You're lucky your jaw isn't broken, Ri said, pressing a cold pack against Jin's cheek. She was short with kind eyes and quick hands. That alien is 3 times your size. Jin winced at the pressure. It felt like being hit by a truck. The door opened and Han walked in. He was the chief diplomat, from Earth with gray hair and a serious face. His eyes widened when he saw Jin's bruised face. So it's true, Han said. An alien general struck our diplomat. General Vok of the Zaloth Empire, Jin confirmed. He didn't like that Earth wants fair treatment. Han's face turned red with anger. This is unacceptable. We should break off. Talks immediately. Giho, who stood quietly in the corner, finally spoke. That would be a mistake. Everyone turned to look at him. The coalition has technology we need, Giho continued, and protection from threats we don't even know about yet. Han frowned. We can't let them treat us like this. Jin removed the cold pack from his face. I agree with Giho. This is an opportunity. An opportunity? Han asked, surprised. Yes. They think we're weak. They didn't expect me to take that hit. Jin stood up. We can use this. A soft beep came from the communication panel. One of the crew answered it. Sir, the coalition is requesting to speak with our delegation, the crew member said. Han looked at Jin. Are you able to join this meeting? Jin nodded. Yes. Let them see what they did. 30 minutes later, Jin, Han, and Giho entered the meeting room on the human ship. On the large screen, 3 coalition representatives waited. Tay the translator, Admiral Tech of the Zaloth, and a tall blue alien with multiple eyes. "Greetings," said Tay. "This is Prime Speaker Lorne of the Coalition Council. We wish to apologize for today's incident." Admiral Tech bowed his head. General Vox's actions were unacceptable. He has been removed from his position in these negotiations. "Thank you," Han replied formally. "Earth takes this incident very seriously." Prime Speaker, Lorne's many eyes blinked in sequence. "We understand. We offer additional medical technology as compensation for this offense." Jin stepped forward so they could see his bruised face clearly. The injury is not severe. However, the insult to Earth cannot be fixed with gifts. The aliens looked uncomfortable. Tay spoke quickly. "Please understand this has never happened before. General Vox will face punishment." "What kind of punishment?" Giho asked quietly. Admiral Tech's yellow eyes narrowed. "He will lose rank and honor. In Zaloth culture, this is worse than death." Jin and Han exchanged looks, then Jin had an idea. "In human culture," Jin said slowly, "when someone is insulted this way, they can restore their honor through a challenge." The aliens went silent. Tay looked confused. "What kind of challenge?" Admiral Tech finally asked. "A physical contest," Jin explained. "One representative from each side. The winner gains respect from both sides." "You wish to fight General Vox?" Prime Speaker Lorne asked, all eyes widening. "It would be a fair solution," Jin said. "If Earth wins, we get respect. If we lose, we accept the Coalition's original terms." The aliens began talking among themselves quickly and quietly. Finally, Admiral Tech spoke. "You should know that General Vox is a war hero. He has won over 50 combat challenges." "I understand," Jin said. The aliens looked at each other again. "We will present your challenge to General Vox," Prime Speaker Lorne said finally. "We will contact you with his answer." The screen went dark. Han turned to Jin immediately. "Have you lost your mind? You can't fight that alien." "I won't be fighting him," Jin said, looking at Giho. "He will." Giho's eyes widened slightly, but he nodded. "I accept." Later that evening, there was a knock at the door of the human quarters. Jin opened it to find Tay standing there, looking nervous. "May I enter?" Tay asked quietly. "I must speak with you privately." Jin let Tay in. The tall green alien seemed worried. "General Vox has accepted your challenge," Tay said. "But I must warn you, no human can defeat a Zaloth in physical combat." "Why are you telling us this?" Jin asked. "I want these peace talks to succeed," Tay said. "The Coalition needs Earth, though many won't admit it. Your planet has resources, yes, but also something else we need." "What's that?" "Different thinking. New ideas." Tay looked at Jin seriously. "But if you go through with this challenge, your representative will be badly hurt, maybe killed." Jin invited Tay to sit down. "Tell me about Zaloth combat." For the next hour, Tay explained Zaloth fighting styles, their physical strengths and their few weaknesses. Giho listened carefully, asking occasional questions. "Their skin is like armor," Tay explained. "But there are places where the protection is thinner." "Why are you helping us?" Giho asked. Tay was quiet for a moment. "I've studied Earth for many years. Your people have something special, determination. The Coalition has grown comfortable, arrogant. We need your spirit." As Tay was leaving, the alien turned back. "One more thing. General Vox was surprised you remained standing after his strike. I checked the medical database. A hit like that would knock unconscious every known Coalition species." After Tay left, Jin called Earth through a secure channel. Soon, the serious face of President Ju appeared on the screen. "We've received your report," President Ju said. "The Security Council has discussed the situation." "What are your orders, Madam President?" Jin asked. "This is no longer just about resources or technology," President Ju said firmly. "This challenge will show the galaxy what humans are made of. Earth stands behind your decision." Jin nodded. "We won't let you down." After the call ended, Jin went to find Giho. The security officer was in the ship's small gym already training. "Earth is counting on us," Jin said. Jiho continued his exercises. I won't fail. The Zaloth are stronger than us, Jin reminded him. Giho stopped and looked at Jin. Stronger, yes, but I watched General Vok during the meeting. He has weaknesses. He gets angry easily. He underestimates others. Can you beat him? Jin asked directly. Jiho thought for a moment. I don't need to be stronger than him. I just need to be smarter, faster, and more determined. Jin smiled. Those are human specialties. There's one more thing, Giho said. I need all the information we have on Zaloth physiology. I'll get it for you, Jin promised. As Jin left the gym, he felt a mix of hope and worry. Tomorrow would change everything. Either Earth would gain respect in the galaxy, or they would become just another conquered world. In his quarters, Jin looked at the small picture of Earth he kept on his desk. The beautiful blue planet seemed so far away now. He touched his bruised face again. We will show them who we really are, he whispered to himself. The training area on the Coalition ship was large and empty. Giho stood in the center, dressed in simple black clothes. He moved through a series of slow, controlled movements, an ancient Earth martial art that focused on balance and precision. Jin watched from the side, along with Rai, the medical officer. A screen on the wall showed a connection to Earth, where Min, a military advisor, observed Giho's practice. The files I sent you, Min said from the screen, contain fighting techniques we developed for possible alien encounters. We never thought we'd use them so soon. Giho nodded as he continued his exercises. They're helpful. The Zaloth are strong, but slow to change direction. Jin looked at the information tablets Tay had secretly provided. According to this, Zaloth, skin is like armor, but there are weak points at the joints. And their eyes are sensitive, Ree added, pointing to a diagram. Their vision is excellent in normal light, but they adjust slowly to brightness changes. A soft knock at the door made them all turn. Tay entered, followed by a small gray alien with large dark eyes. This is Day, Tay introduced. A coalition. Scientist who studies different species. Day stepped forward, looking at Giho with interest. May I scan you? I'm curious about human physiology. Giho looked at Jin, who nodded. Day pulled out a small device and moved it around Giho's body. Fascinating, Day said, looking at the results. Your muscle density is lower than a Zaloth's, but your nervous system is much more efficient. What does that mean? Jin asked. It means humans may not be as strong, but they can respond faster. And Day paused, adjusting the scanner. Your pain threshold is unusually high compared to coalition species. Is that important? Ree asked. Day's large eyes blinked rapidly. Very. Most coalition species evolved on safer worlds. Pain is a strong signal to stop. But humans... Day looked at Giho with new respect. You evolved on a dangerous planet. You learned to fight through pain. Giho continued his training as they talked. He practiced movements designed to use an opponent's strength against them. Min provided guidance from Earth, pointing out techniques that might work against the heavier Zaloth. Remember, Min said, General Vok expects to win easily. He won't be prepared for a long fight. Tay moved closer to Jin. I should warn you. News of this challenge has spread through the Coalition ship. Many are coming to watch. Let them watch, Jin said. It's time they learned about humans. In another part of the ship, General Vok stood in his private quarters watching a recording of Giho's training. Next to him stood Suk, a Zaloth combat specialist. The human moves strangely, Suk observed. Not like any fighting style I've seen. Vok made a dismissive sound. It looks weak, no direct attacks, no power. Maybe, Suk said carefully. But notice how he always keeps balanced. He never overextends. Vok turned off the screen. It doesn't matter. Human bones break easily. Human skin tears. I will end this quickly. Admiral Tech entered the room. General Vok. Vok stood straight and saluted. Admiral, this challenge has gained attention throughout the Coalition, Admiral Tech said. Many important people will be watching. I will bring honor to the Zaloth, Vok promised. You misunderstand, Admiral Tech said coldly. You have already brought shame to us by striking a diplomat. Now you must handle this properly. I will defeat the human quickly, Vox said. No, Admiral Tech replied. You will fight honorably, and you will not seriously injure the human. We need good relations with Earth. Vox's yellow eyes narrowed. You want me to let the human win? I want you to remember that you represent the Zaloth Empire and the Coalition, Admiral Tech said sharply. This is not about your pride anymore. After Admiral Tech left, Vox smashed his fist into the wall, leaving a deep dent. Sook watched silently. I will show them all, Vox growled. No human can match a Zaloth warrior. Back in the human training area, Day had connected Giho to several scanning devices. The screens showed his heart rate, brain activity, and other measurements. Now, Day said, I will apply pressure to your arm. Tell me when it becomes painful. Day began pressing a device against Giho's forearm. The pressure increased slowly. The machine showed the force increasing, but Giho's face remained calm. That's unusual, Day muttered, increasing the pressure further. Is something wrong? Jin asked. He should be showing pain responses by now, Day said, looking confused. Any coalition species would be in serious distress at this level. It hurts, Giho said simply. But I can handle it. Day stepped back, turning off the device. This changes everything. If humans can endure this much pain. A message appeared on Jin's communication device. He read it quickly. Earth just sent the classified files on Zaloth physiology, Jin said to Giho. Our scientists found something interesting. Giho came over to look at the files. What is it? Zaloth have an amazing healing ability, Jin explained. But it requires a lot of energy. If a fight goes on too long, they get tired quickly. Day looked surprised. How did your scientists learn this? Jin smiled slightly. We've been preparing for alien contact for a long time. That evening, Giho sat quietly in his quarters, mentally preparing for tomorrow's challenge. There was a soft knock at his door. Enter, he said. Jin came in, carrying a small box. A gift from Earth. It just arrived on the supply shuttle. Giho opened the box. Inside was a simple patch with Earth's flag on it. President Ju sent it, Jin said. She said to tell you that tomorrow you fight for all of humanity. Giho held the patch carefully. I understand. Are you ready? Jin asked. I've studied everything we know about the Zaloth, Giho replied. I've trained as much as possible. Now it's about heart. Jin nodded. Day told me something interesting today. The Coalition has thousands of species, but they've never encountered one quite like humans. How so? Most advanced species evolved to avoid pain and conflict, Jin explained. They developed technology to make life easier and safer. But humans, we evolved fighting, Giho finished, against nature, animals, each other. Exactly, Jin said. Day thinks our entire history made us uniquely tough. Giho looked at the Earth patch again. Tomorrow, General Vox will learn just how tough. Late that night, Coalition scientist Day sat in a secure lab, reviewing the final test results from the human samples. The data was clear but hard to believe. Humans had incredible endurance, a unique ability to ignore pain and surprising adaptability. Day looked at the screen showing both Giho's and Vox's physical scans side by side. On paper, Vox was superior in every way, stronger, more durable, with better reflexes. But there was something the numbers couldn't show. Something Day had observed while watching Giho train. A quality that didn't appear on any scan: determination. The Coalition has never seen anything like humans, Day whispered to the empty lab. Tomorrow will change everything. The combat arena on the Coalition ship was a large circle with high walls. Hundreds of aliens from different species filled the viewing areas above. They whispered and pointed as Giho entered from one side of the arena. He wore simple black clothes with the Earth patch on his chest. His face was calm. From the other side, General Vox entered. He wore the traditional armor of Zaloth warriors, metal plates covering his chest, shoulders, and legs. The crowd cheered. For him. Many coalition species respected the Zaloth for their strength and fighting skill. Jin, Ri, and Han watched from a special area for the Earth delegation. Tay stood nearby to explain anything they didn't understand. "There are more viewers than I expected," Jin said, looking at the packed stands. Tay nodded. "This is the first time a human has challenged a Zaloth. Everyone is curious." In the center of the arena stood Jun, a tall, thin alien with silver skin. "I am the contest mediator," Jun announced, voice carrying through the arena. "I will explain the rules." Jun raised 4 long arms. "The challenge continues until one fighter submits, is knocked unconscious, or cannot continue. Killing is not allowed. No weapons may be used." General Vok smiled, showing his sharp teeth. He looked at Giho, who was much smaller than him. "The human can submit now if he wishes to avoid pain." Giho said nothing. He simply stood ready. "Fighters, approach," Jun called. Vok and Giho walked to the center. The size difference was clear to everyone. Vok stood nearly 2 heads taller than Giho and was twice as wide. "Are both fighters ready?" Jun asked. "Ready," Vok growled. Giho nodded. "Once." "Ready." Jun stepped back quickly. "Begin." Vok didn't waste time. He charged forward with a roar, swinging one massive arm at Giho's head. The blow would have ended the fight immediately if it had connected. But Giho wasn't there anymore. He had dropped and rolled to the side with surprising speed. The crowd made sounds of surprise. Vok turned, his yellow eyes narrowing. He charged again, both arms reaching to grab the human. Again, Giho moved at the last second, this time sliding under Vok's reach and striking at the back of the alien's knee. Vok stumbled, but didn't fall. He spun around faster than expected and caught Giho with a glancing blow to the shoulder. The impact sent Giho sliding across the floor. "First blood to the Zaloth," someone shouted from the crowd. In the Earth section, Ri checked her medical scanner. That hit would break bones in most species. Jin watched as Giho got back to his feet. "Is he injured?" "His shoulder is damaged," Ri said, looking worried. "But he can still move it." Vok smiled, confident now. "You feel that pain, human? There is much more to come." Giho took a deep breath and resumed his fighting stance. He began moving in a circle, forcing Vok to turn to keep facing him. "Stop dancing and fight," Vok demanded, charging again. This time when Giho dodged, he struck quickly at Vok's face, aiming for the eyes. Vok jerked back, surprised by the speed of the attack. The crowd went quiet. "The human is faster than expected," Tay said quietly. For the next several minutes, the fight followed the same pattern. Vok would attack with powerful blows that could end the fight if they connected fully. Giho would avoid most of the impact and strike at vulnerable areas before moving away. It was like watching a large predator trying to catch a much smaller, quicker animal. In the special viewing area for coalition leaders, Admiral Tech watched with growing concern. Next to him, Day monitored screens showing both fighters' vital signs. "The human should be exhausted by now," Admiral Tech said. "No one can keep dodging Vok for this long." Day pointed to the screen. "Look at his readings. His heart is working hard but efficiently. And his pain signals," Day shook his head in wonder. "He's ignoring them." In the arena, Vok was getting frustrated. He had landed several hits on the human, but Giho kept getting up. Now Vok's breathing was getting heavier. Each charge took more energy than the last. "Stand and fight properly," Vok shouted, swinging wildly. Giho ducked under the swing and struck hard at Vok's elbow joint. There was a crack that everyone could hear. Vok roared in pain and anger. The crowd was completely silent now. They had expected a quick victory for the Zaloth. Instead, the fight had gone on for nearly 15 minutes. "What's happening?" An alien near Jin asked Tay. "Why doesn't the human stay down?" "Humans evolved on a dangerous world," Tay explained. "They learned to endure pain that would stop most species." Vok was clearly tiring now. His movements were slower. The armor that had looked impressive at the start now seemed to weigh him down, but his anger made him dangerous. He charged again, catching Giho with a powerful blow to the ribs. Giho flew backward and hit the arena wall hard. The crowd gasped. For a moment he didn't move. "Get up," Jin whispered. "Get up." In his head, Giho heard Min's voice from their training. "Zaloth tire quickly in extended combat. Their healing burns energy. Make the fight last." Slowly, painfully, Giho pushed himself up. Blood ran from a cut on his forehead. His ribs screamed with pain. But he stood. Vok stared in disbelief. "Why won't you submit?" "Humans," Giho said, taking a painful breath. "Don't give up." The medical screens monitoring Giho were lighting up with warnings. Ree shook her head in amazement. "He has 2 broken ribs. He shouldn't be able to stand, let alone fight." As the fight continued, something strange began to happen. The aliens watching started to cheer not just for Vok, but for Giho too. They had never seen such determination before. Vok was breathing heavily now. His movements were sluggish. When he charged again, Giho was ready. Using Vok's momentum against him, Giho sidestepped and struck the exact spot where Day had told him Zaloth were vulnerable, a nerve cluster at the base of the neck. Vok stumbled forward, his legs suddenly weak. He tried to turn, but Giho was already moving. With a series of quick strikes to pressure points, Giho targeted the areas where Zaloth armor was thinnest. Vok swung one more time, but there was little power behind it. Giho caught the arm and used Vok's weight against him. The massive alien crashed to the floor. This time, Vok couldn't get up. He tried to push himself off the ground, but his arms shook and gave way. The arena was completely silent. Jun stepped forward cautiously. "General Vok, can you continue?" Vok tried again to stand. Failed. His yellow eyes looked up at Giho in shock and confusion. Vok's voice was rough with exhaustion. "I cannot continue." Jun raised a hand toward Giho. "The human wins the challenge." For a moment, no one made a sound. Then the arena erupted in cheers and calls and whistles from hundreds of different alien throats. Giho stood in the center, breathing hard, holding his injured side. He looked at Jin and the Earth delegation and gave a small nod. In the coalition, leaders area, Day turned to Admiral Tech with wide eyes. "Do you understand what this means? Everything we thought we knew about humans was wrong." Admiral Tech watched as medical teams entered the arena for both fighters. "Yes," he said quietly. "The galaxy just changed." 3 days after the challenge, Giho sat in the medical bay of the Earthship. Ree checked the healing progress of his ribs and other injuries. "You're recovering faster than expected," Ree said, looking at the medical scanner. "Another week and you'll be back to normal." Jin entered the room, smiling when he saw Giho sitting up. "Our hero is looking better." "I'm not a hero," Giho said quietly. "I just did my job." "The coalition would disagree," Jin replied. "News of your victory has spread to every coalition world. You're famous now." Ree finished her examination and stepped back. "You can return to your quarters today, but no training for at least 5 days." As Giho carefully put his shirt back on, the communication panel beeped. Han's face appeared on the screen. "Jin, Giho," Han said, looking excited. "The Coalition Council has called an emergency meeting. They want Earth's delegation there in 1 hour. Jin helped Giho stand up. "We'll be ready." The council chamber was the largest room on the Coalition ship. Representatives from over 20 alien species sat in curved rows facing a central platform. The Earth delegation, Jin, Giho, Han, and Ree, entered to find everyone watching them. Prime Speaker Lorne stood on the central platform, all eyes focused on the humans. "Delegates of Earth," Lorne said, voice carrying through the chamber. "We have called this meeting to address your world's status in the Coalition." Jin stepped forward. "We are listening. For centuries, the Coalition has classified new species based on their development level," Lorne explained. Earth was initially classified as a developing world, a planet with basic space travel but limited technology. The Earth delegation exchanged glances. This wasn't news to them. However, Lorne continued. Recent events have forced us to reconsider this classification. Admiral Tech stepped onto the platform next to Lorne. The challenge between your representative and General Vok revealed something important about humans. A large screen appeared showing medical data and images from the fight. Humans possess unique physical and mental traits, Admiral Tech said. Your endurance exceeds most coalition species. Your pain tolerance is extraordinary, and your determination, he paused looking directly at Giho, is unlike anything we have seen before. Day joined them on the platform. We have studied the medical data carefully. Humans evolved on a world with many dangers. This forced you to develop abilities that most coalition species never needed. What does this mean for Earth? Han asked. Prime. Speaker Lorne's many eyes blinked in sequence. The Council has voted to reclassify Earth as a guardian potential world. Murmurs spread through the chamber. Jin looked confused. I don't understand, Jin said. Tay stepped forward to explain. Guardian. Worlds are rare in the Coalition. They are planets whose people have both the ability and willingness to protect others. Only 3 other species hold this status. The Coalition faces many threats, Admiral Tech added. The Swarm is just one of them. We need species who can fight when necessary. Lorne raised all 4 hands for silence. Earth will now be offered full membership in the Coalition, with equal rights and responsibilities. Your resources will remain your own to share as you choose. Han couldn't hide his surprise. This is exactly what we wanted. There is more, Lorne said. General Vok has requested to speak with you. The council chamber doors opened and General Vok entered. He moved slowly, still recovering from the fight. The chamber went quiet as he approached the Earth delegation. Vok stopped in front of Giho. For a long moment, the 2 fighters looked at each other. Then, to everyone's surprise, Vok placed his right fist over his chest and bowed deeply. In Zaloth tradition, Vok said, when a warrior meets one worthy of respect, they become battle brothers. Vok straightened and held out a small metal object to Giho. It was a Zaloth military insignia. I offer you this as a symbol of respect, Vok said, and I ask forgiveness for my actions against your diplomat. Giho accepted the insignia. Then, following what Tai had taught him about Zaloth customs, he removed the earth patch from his shirt and offered it to Vok. On Earth, Giho said, warriors who respect each other exchange symbols of their home. Vok carefully took the earth patch. With great ceremony, he attached it to his armor. The Zaloth Military Command has made a decision, Vok announced to the chamber. We offer to train with humans to share knowledge of combat and defense. Together we will be stronger. The council chamber erupted in approving sounds from dozens of different alien species. 1 week later, Earth's President, Ju, arrived on the Coalition ship for the official membership ceremony. Before the ceremony, she met with Jin, Giho, and Han. You've done something remarkable, President Ju told them. Earth is joining the galactic community as equals, not as servants or subjects. It almost went very differently, Jin admitted. President Ju smiled. Sometimes the best way to earn respect is to stand your ground. What happens now? Giho asked. Now Earth becomes part of something bigger, President Ju said. We'll share knowledge, trade, and culture with 1,000 worlds. And yes, we'll help protect them too. In the Grand Hall, representatives from every Coalition world gathered to witness Earth joining the Coalition. Prime Speaker Lorne and President Ju signed the formal agreement while thousands watched. Today we welcome a new world to our family, Lorne announced. A world whose people have shown us something important, that true strength comes in many forms. After the ceremony, Tay found Jin and Giho at the observation window, looking at Earth in the distance. Your world looks peaceful from here, Tay said. It wasn't always peaceful, Jin replied. Humans fought each other for most of our history. Perhaps that's why you're different, Tay suggested. Most coalition species evolved toward cooperation early. They avoided conflict whenever possible. And we faced it head-on, Giho said, quietly. Exactly, Tay nodded. The humans have a saying I've been studying. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I think I finally understand what it means. Across the room, they saw General Vok speaking with several other Zaloth. The earth patch was still visible on his armor. Will he be punished for what happened? Jin asked. Tay made a sound like gentle laughter. Quite the opposite. Vok is now in charge of the new human Zaloth combat training program. Many Zaloth are eager to learn from humans. Giho raised an eyebrow. Learn from us? They're twice our size and strength. Yes, Tay agreed. But you showed the galaxy that size and strength aren't everything. Determination, adaptability, endurance. These are human strengths that many coalition species lack. As they talked, Admiral Tech approached them. Earth's membership has already changed things. 7 worlds that were hesitating to join the coalition have now requested membership. Why? Jin asked. They were afraid the larger species would dominate them, Admiral Tech explained. But seeing Earth join as equals gives them hope. The Admiral looked at Giho. One human stood against the strongest warrior in the coalition and showed that the seemingly weak can be surprisingly strong. Jin smiled. That's been humanity's story since the beginning. Later that day, when the celebrations had ended, Giho stood alone at the window. He touched his healing ribs and thought about how one small action, a slap from an angry alien, had changed the future for his entire species. All because he slapped a human, Giho whispered to himself, and immediately regretted it.